This is called Python 101. But the truth is, they're not so much mean as they are scared. People always ask, well, how much water do you put in perlite? Now this applies to any crocodilian, everything. You
15, 16.
So I'm just going to mark those 16. But I'm going to take those eggs now, and then when you pull them apart, you want to put your fingers in between them. Some are stuck better than others. Nice, like that clutch wasn't really a great clutch, although we'll hatch 30 perfect babies out of it or somewhere near there. These are a little bit better. And they're stuck together a little bit better. So what we want to do is we just want to carefully push our fingers between them. And when we push our fingers between them, we want to make sure that it doesn't start to tear. If it does, you got to come from the other direction. So you can see it kind of like is like paper almost. So the female, so built in the engineering of this, it's a well-designed engineered creature, is the ability for these eggs to be glued together. The glued together feature is literally to protect them. Because if let's say a cougar comes by and a black panther comes by and starts to fight to try to take away the eggs, well, she might push them and shove them and bite them and get them to leave. But if after it's all done, she's rolled all the eggs around, then it ain't gonna matter. It took us a while to learn some of this stuff. You know, when I started, there was no books. There was a python breeding manual, and it was this thick, and it was handwritten, and it was about every kind of python made. So, to say the least, it wasn't very easy to learn. It didn't even know the temperatures. It didn't know the temperatures for most pythons or what to do. Let's leave her alone. She's not going to hurt nobody. She has nobody. If I put my head down there, I wouldn't trust her. But okay, so now there's some other questions. Hey, how do you get python eggs? Here, Tim, why don't you come over here and work on this? I want to give them a little bit of info. And I need my hands. I can't talk without my hands. It's an Italian thing. So these eggs came approximately 35 days after a shed. Now the idea is these snakes, when they lay there, they actually build the follicles up inside of them, and they get real heavy looking. A lot of people call the lump an ovulation, but I don't really see it as the ovulation. I actually see it as when they're actually egging the egg up. The eggs are already there, and the ovulation to me is when the ova actually come and expand to full size and are ready to be fertilized. And what happens is the sperm goes in there, fertilizes them, and then they shell them. You don't need a male around when they shell them. There's no reason. You can breed a snake one time and have perfect success. I know many people have. But that's providing the temperatures are correct. So you want to make sure to give your python some gradient. Don't matter if you're breeding boas, what you're breeding, they need gradient. So these eggs here, what happens is they actually shed after the true ovulation to me. When the ova get big, it forces them into a shed, pre-ovulation shed, which is what people call it. And that one kind of tells you it's coming. The next one can come at any time. It can be 25 days to what, 100 days?
Yeah.
I mean, it can literally be a long ways apart. They're not always consistent because some females sit around wondering, am I going to do it, am I not going to do it? And so what happens then is the next shed, after they swell up real big and tight, the shed comes out, and then that shed is the shed that tells you that you're within 30 to 40 days away from laying eggs. So this one here laid what, 36 days ago? Yeah. So this was about 36 days. We don't get nervous at 30, 32, 35. 30's great. 28 is usually all slugs. So she's just abandoning everything. We still might make this video literally Python 101. Right, Tim?
Mm-hmm. Maybe.
I think we can. We might go over. We'll only go over probably if we do anything. What do you think?
We'll have to wait and see.
What do you think? Come on! We're taking votes. Is it going to be? Are we going to make it to Python 101?
No.
Tim says we're not gonna. I think pick a number. What do you think?
Python 71.
He says Python 71. I say Python 91.
Were you counting infertils?
I'll count those if I need them. What do you think? I'm stupid?
You count the fertile, you might hit Python 91.
Here he says, I think I'm going to hit Python 1010.
22, where'd you stop, 22?
No, I don't know, I really just put them on over here. So here's how we're going to make a Python 101. So you really think there's under 101 eggs?
Yeah. Oh.